What's something your school banned that made literally no sense? Okay, so during my junior year, my high school banned books. Not all books, just any books that weren't officially assigned textbooks or reading material. Sounds insane, right? Let me explain. It started when our principal, Mr. Hargrove, or Hardgrove as we called him behind his back, caught my friend Eliza reading a mystery novel during study hall. "What's that you're reading, Miss Carter?" he asked, his voice carrying that authoritative edge we all dreaded. Eliza looked up, confused. It's just a book, sir. For pleasure reading?" He frowned like she'd said something offensive. "Study hall is for studying assigned materials only. Please put that away." The next day, there was an announcement. Students are reminded that study periods are strictly for curriculum-based materials. Personal reading materials are to remain in lockers. We thought it was just another one of Hardgrove's power trips. But then, things escalated. My English teacher, Ms. Collins, was furious. "This is ridiculous," she muttered during class. "How can we encourage literacy while restricting reading?" A week later, I was sitting in the cafeteria with my copy of The Catcher in the Rye when Vice Principal Warner approached. "I'll need to confiscate that," she said, hand extended. "But it's lunch period?" I replied, genuinely confused. "New policy. No personal books on campus. You'll get it back at the end of the day." That afternoon, the official email went out to parents. To minimize distractions and ensure focus on curriculum, personal reading materials unrelated to coursework are no longer permitted on school grounds. My mom read the email aloud at dinner, her eyebrows practically disappearing into her hairline. "They've banned books? At a school? Am I reading this correctly?" Dad laughed, thinking it was a joke. That can't be right. But it was. The reasoning, apparently, was that students were hiding inappropriate content inside book covers and using reading as an excuse to avoid social interaction during breaks. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Our school motto was literally, knowledge through discovery. Ms. Collins started a quiet rebellion. She created a curriculum-related reading list that somehow included practically every popular book we might want to read, claiming they were comparative literature studies. "If anyone questions you," she told us conspiratorially, "just say you're doing research for English class." Things really came to a head during Spirit Week. The theme was Heroes Day, and many of us came dressed as literary characters. I went as Hermione Granger, complete with a prop spellbook, which was actually just a decorated binder. Principal Hardgrove was livid. "This is deliberately undermining school policy." That's when our valedictorian Quiet Samir, who barely spoke up in class, stood in the middle of the hallway and recited the First Amendment, followed by quotes about the dangers of banning books. Others joined in. Someone started distributing bookmarks with famous quotes about censorship. Parents called in. The local newspaper caught wind of it. 3 weeks later, the policy was clarified. Personal reading was once again allowed during lunch and before or after school. Study hall restrictions remained, but with an exception for literature approved by English department staff. Ms. Collins somehow got herself appointed as the approval committee's only member.